Are you a landlord or are you thinking of becoming a landlord? Then you need to know more about buy-to-let mortgages. The market for buy-to-let mortgages is changing all of the time, and there's been lots of legislation changes that would affect landlords over the past few weeks or so. Adam, can you tell me a bit more about a buy-to-let mortgage?
Of course, yeah, no problem. I think the first thing to note is that at the moment, there's a lot more people going up what we call the limited company buy-to-let route. So traditionally, once upon a time, if you wanted a rental property, you'd have your own property, you'd go and buy another property with the purpose of renting it out, and the lender would assess the mortgage based on how much rent that property is likely to achieve. It would be your own property, and you'd be liable for all the bits and pieces to do with that property. Now, with a limited company mortgage, it's actually a limited company that buys the property rather than you as an individual. So it's an additional source of income that might be taxed in a slightly different way because it's the company that owns the property and you're just the owner behind the scenes on that. And it is becoming an increasingly more common way for people to buy mortgages, and there's lots more lenders that are entering that market. We will have the expertise and knowledge to make sure that you have all the information so that you can make the right decision that suits you as a landlord, whether it be your first property, a single property, whether you're looking at building a portfolio. And one of the most important things as well to remember is that you don't necessarily have to already own a property or have owned a property before. It's a common misconception that first-time buyers can't be buy-to-let, but I've done lots of mortgages for first-time buyers who go on to then buy their own home outright, but are just looking to invest at this stage in a property for the first time and generate an additional income for themselves.
Why are landlords going down the limited company route?
The limited company route just means that it's the company that pays corporation tax. So if you're for example, for a higher rate taxpayer, and the rental income from the property would be taxed at your higher rate at the 40% or 45%. So by putting it into a limited company, it's an income that's outside of your own personal tax allowance, unless you draw money from that. I mean, it's important. I'm not a tax advisor.
No.
I'm not an accountant. I can't give advice in that area, but we do have enough understanding of the reasons why something might work for somebody, so that we can give you that information so that you can go and talk to a tax advisor, so that you can go and talk to an accountant and put all the information together. If you're going to invest money, investment always carries a risk, and so it's important that you get the right advice from the right person. We can help you with setting up the right mortgage and the right protection, but you'll need to find somebody else to go through the tax and the legal ramifications of buy-to-let and limited company.
Brilliant. So if you're a landlord looking to either remortgage or purchase another property, would really recommend popping in to see Adam. He's based on the High Street. He'd be more than happy to be able to help you. Or give him a call on 0121 323 4999.